Hello, guys. Happy Friday. How are you? High five for showing up. I'm very excited to have you here today. I just wanted to do a little riff and say happy Friday to you, obviously, but also talk a little bit about what it's like being a budding party promoter, a party event nightclub organizer. I also already struggled with how to put a word on it because party promoter is just not a. I don't think it's a great term that gives the profession its justice because if you're more like an event planner actually. So today I wanted to chat with some three different things that could be like hot for like budding party promoters and why it's the ultimate side hustle. So one of the things that you may not realize that it's actually very very low startup costs and a very good potential for profits, very nice profits too. And you don't need to have a huge budget to start at all. It's just got to takes your creativity and a little bit of a connections and also knowing where other people need help, because guess what, you're like the knight in shining armor for many small restaurants, pubs, clubhouses that can make extra income, and you basically are doing totally free promotion for them. So you absolutely have an ace up your sleeve, no question about it. And one of the things that I did was to go to small bars that I knew needed business that fit my target market, where it would be good for me to take my crowd and my crowd would feel at home there. And also, as you start becoming a promoter or an event or a nightclub party organizer, you also become the center of attention among your friends, maybe even in your small town or city. And many people actually will come to you for connections, for partnership opportunities, and all kinds of stuff, as you also help others get connected up. People will come to you for job leads. They will come to you for advice. They may come to you to ask, say, can you connect me up with some girls or guys, because they may be traveling to another city, and you may have connection. That's actually happened to me. One friend of mine, high level person, I'm not going to say who it is, but wanted to go to Norway, Oslo, Norway, the capital. And he wanted to meet with some people there. So I connected him right in. He was coming from the US. Obviously, those are, just a pleasure to do stuff like that, right? When you do stuff like that, you put yourself in a different light. You become a connector and a provider and a person that makes things happen for other people. So yeah, you definitely build your social capital while earning money. So that's a good thing to be able to do. Yeah, it's and people look at you as a happy person too, because you're surrounding yourself around happy events and good times, right? And also, these are transferable skills for life. I mean, as a young person, maybe a young man, you will learn social skills and interactions with other people on a whole other level than most other people get to do in their young years. You get to learn negotiation skills, getting along with people, helping people, socializing, all of that. So it's a big plus. And obviously, you learn marketing techniques and event planning techniques, and also you become a leader. So you get leadership techniques and skills, and so you can use that in any of your future business careers. And secondly, how do you guarantee that you can pack the house? Well, I have many techniques for that, and many of you have heard me talk about the 20 by 20 formula before, where in short it is basically find 20 of your closest friends that you think are social, and have good friends around them as well, and have them make a list of 20 people each, and invite them over to your house or take them to a restaurant and provide some drinks and appetizers, let's say on a Friday or Saturday night, maybe a couple of weeks in advance of an intended party you have. And they all start calling from that room, and it's fun, and you'll have a party and a good time at the same time. Another twist on that is where we actually got one of our sponsors to, they were a limo company, so we got to use their limo for a whole night, and we could fit 20 at one location in one limo. And another time we got access to a whole bus. We could have 40, 50 people with us. and another time we had access to a cable car on wheels, and we had a DJ in the back. So a lot of ways you can do that. So the 20 by 20 then would work in the sense that we would go out on town and hit parties at private locations or pubs or dance clubs and promote our events. So that's the 20 by 20 in itself. And of course, you leverage social media very wisely too, with Facebook postings, TikTok, Instagram, wherever your target market is. And then Facebook might not be as hot now these days, but I know back in the day when we were in the heyday, that was the only game in town. And then, it was used very successfully. Of course, and then you could share all kinds of teaser content and venue walkthrough where you show them where the party is going to be, and you can announce DJs and the different things as you start releasing more and more information about your party. So that's one way. And you also tap into existing communities. Like, for instance, we would market heavily to colleges. We even went to dentist schools because we knew there were many dentist practitioners or assistants, and usually they were ladies. And as you know, in this game, it's all about the ladies. Here's a little interesting story for you. I'll ask you a question. What do you think the ratio should be for a party to be have the right energy? Should it be more women, or should there be more guys, or should it be 50-50? I'd say make a comment down in the chat, or in the chat, in the comment box right now. If you, I'm very curious to hear it. So I'll give you like 10 seconds. Just type it in there. And even if you're catching this on the replay, still type it in there. I'd love to see what you say. Go ahead, type it right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So about 10 seconds I waited. No. So what we found to be the case is that it should be about 60 to 40% female ratio. So more women than guys. Why? It's kind of interesting. If there were not as many women as guys, or more women as guys, then the women would be hit on too much by the guys and they would feel uncomfortable. They need to be in control. So that's why we had always try to get that formula, the more women than guys. It's interesting strategy, but it seemed to work very well for us. And that's how the parties were off the hook and great. And of course, women like to dress up and all of that more than guys do in some ways, right? So they had an occasion to do that. They love to go out in groups too. So now let's see. So you have actually the secret sauce of creating an unforgettable party. There's many ingredients that falls under there, right? So one of the things I loved, and I looked at myself as a little bit of a different party promoter. I wasn't the typical guy that did a club party every Saturday or every Friday, or every other week. I love to do special events. So like I would do like a Halloween party was my favorite of all. I did something called Bad Taste Party, where people dressed up as well. I did White Nights to celebrate the lightest day of the year, where everybody dressed in white. I did parties to concerts. One time I took 8 buses, 15 each, 400 people, to see the Gypsy Kings. It was unbelievable. So, I mean, the list goes on, and beach parties, and I did parties in the park. I did all kinds of stuff. And of course, I did the regular dance parties too, but I was very tuned in to those special type of events. I really had a lot of fun doing that. So, and then of course you want to make sure you have the right energy and the right group there, and that's also a skill too. So I was fortunate, I guess, in many ways. I built my network through friends of friends, and that's what I highly suggest you do as well, because then you have a group of friends that you like to also be around. It's not just somebody else you're serving, but you also have a great time. And that's one of the main rules I had. I got that question the other day actually. So Alf, did you just produce and had to pay attention and work during your parties? I said, absolutely not. I had delegated everything out to somebody else that was managing everything else, and and I could enjoy the party and be with my friends and introduce people and be in the mix of things. Absolutely. So that's a really a great thing. So, and you create the energy that way. So talking a little bit about that, so you can do different parties. So, like getting back to that, you could do the Rory's 20s, or like a neon light, or you can do like other theme parties as well. So, and then you have costume contests and God knows what, right? And also another way to start your party could be to have a happy hour. So you could start with some appetizers that you get sponsors very often. If I didn't get a sponsor, I could buy little focaccias or little snacks that I would put on little trays, and have little things for people can nibble, cheese and crackers and stuff like that, that people can come and a little bit early to meet other people as well. And obviously you had drink specials for the happy hour, then we could get people in there a little earlier. And then as you start opening the party, you start with one room up to build the energy in that, lower the lights, have a DJ, play the right kind of music, low tempo, and to kind of build the crowd and get people into it. And it's a wonderful, actually, many people came early to the parties because they really like to see and be part of that, and also easier to meet people at that level. I mean, at that stage of the party, before later on the music would be really loud, unless you had breakout rooms or places you could get away from the music, which I really love to have as well. But not every venue had that. So, and then of course you build energy in one room, and once that kind of full and has the energy, you open up the next room and so on. We usually had very common 2 to 3 to 4 rooms in when we looked for venues, because we had different types of music: 70s and 80s, European, Persian music, Latin music. So we spread that. We had the whole gesture. So because of the different nationalities that were in San Francisco where we did our parties. And then of course you need to create the buzz and have excitement at the party as well. Sometimes you would bring in samba dancers, so and they would dance in the crowd, for they come in for on a stage for like 10-15 minutes only. Or we'd have a saxophone that was wired with a wireless mic, and he would go in the crowd and play, or a drummer. So we did all kinds of things to create energy and fun for the people there. And we obviously had photo stations. We had 3-4 photographers that would run around with big cameras and take pictures of people, and people love to be in pictures. And then of course, as the party's over and the day is the close, we close the party, of course you then send out pictures the following day, videos as well. And we obviously ask, back in the early days there weren't that many people that had mobile phones on the early 2000s, but as you got into the mid 2000s, obviously people had iPhones, and later on all that stuff. So then we would get pictures from people as well, and that's obviously what you can do today as well. And you should probably have a place where people can post. Oops, sorry. You can have a place where people can post their pictures, and that's a very, very good idea to do as well. All right. Hopefully, this was a little bit of a good pep talk to you, the budding entrepreneur that might be looking at this wonderful industry to organize parties and make some money on the side and have a good time, and be a connector and be a mover and shaker and be in the mix of things. I hope you liked our little talk here today, and I'm here to help you as much as I can. So please feel free to comment below and click the link if you want to ask me any questions. I'm always here, and I look forward to chatting with any and all of you. Take care. All the best, and happy Friday. Thanks for showing up. Here we go.